What up, everybody? You're watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green, as always. We're about to get into a mailbag where we answer questions from subscribers only. So if you haven't subbed yet, change it. Go down right now and hit that sub button so you can be featured on our next mailbag. $10 super chat coming in from Paulie Smoosh TV. Thanks for being a real one, Paulie. He says he's scared the Giants winning may hurt us because if we don't win a playoff game, we are hurting our draft spot and forced to make moves on DJ and Saquon Barkley. If one did bad this season, it would have been easier to move on. So I'm going to answer this. I'll spend some time on this. So may hurt us if we don't win a playoff game. I don't ever think that getting to the playoffs is a bad reason. Even if the Giants lose a playoff game, I would consider this one of the most successful seasons the Giants have had since the Super Bowl season. You weren't supposed to make the playoffs this year. And you know what getting to the playoffs does? It means what does it mean? You won a lot of games. It means you're well coached. Those two things are huge. Because when you win a lot of games, that builds a winning culture. And we've had a lot of coaches come in. Shermer, McAdoo, Judge, talk about culture. The only culture I give a shit about is a winning culture. You don't build culture by losing games. So that's check one. So I understand what you're saying, but if you get to the playoffs, it's a success. You're learning how to win. You have to teach guys like Daniel Jones how to win, Saquon Barkley how to win, Kayvon Thibodeau, Evan Neal, all the young guys on this team, you got to teach them how to win. It may hurt our draft spot. That is true. If the Giants get to the playoffs, they will have a lower draft spot. But I'll also tell you this. You only hit on your draft picks about 40% of the time in the first round. So whether you're picking first or whether you're picking 29th or 32nd, it's still a risk and it's not a guarantee. So I'm not too worried about that. And you're forced to make moves on Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. If one did bad, they're both doing good, though. You want good players. There's nothing wrong with keeping good players. I don't know if they're going to keep Daniel Jones even if we make the playoffs. I don't think a decision has been made. He's still got to prove himself. I think Saquon Barkley is back if he wants to be back. So I get the thoughts there, Paulie. And I agree with a lot of it. I just never think it's a problem by actually winning football games. You're learning how to win. That's important. This team hasn't done that in a long time. I think that goes a long way. I do. Culture is a good buzzword. You know who always talks about culture? Teams that don't win. That's who talks about culture because they're trying to get that winning culture. There ain't no other culture in the world except for a winning culture. And right now, Giants are on their way to establishing that winning culture. Paulie, love the comment, love the question, and thank you for supporting the channel, my guy. Shout out to Cal Walker. Marshy, who do you think is our leading receiver at the end of the season? Let's go, G-Man. So we'll pull up the wide receiver stats right now heading into the game this week against the Houston Texans. I think it's going to be Darius Slayton. He's already got 232 yards. Maybe it's Wan'Dale Robinson. Could it be Golladay? Could Golladay in these last 7 games get you 500 yards? That might be at the most on any receiver this year. If you can get anything out of Golladay, that'd be huge. But if I had to predict it, I would say Slayton or Wan'Dale Robinson are the top 2 guys for me. Don't jinx it. If you're watching right now, stop everything you're doing. And if you're a subscriber, type me so I know I'm not talking to you. If you're not a subscriber, listen up. Go down right now and hit that big red button and sub for Giants dubs. We are a superstitious channel. If you want the Giants to beat the Texans, subscribe. Sub for Giants dubs. We put out videos every single day. We go live on Wednesdays. We go live on Sundays for games. No Giants channel puts out more content than we do. YouTube.com/NYGiantsTV. Lock us in. Hit that big red button. Rosario Guzzo. When does Bellinger get back? Doesn't sound like there's any sort of timetable with Daniel Bellinger and the eye injury that he suffered. I honestly think it would be lucky if he comes back at all this year. I think he will, but I'm not going to put stock into someone that just had face surgery coming back. He was great in his rookie year, and I think we have our tight end of the future in Daniel Bellinger. I love the way he blocks. I love the way he competes, and he's got good, strong hands. He's not a game changer in the wide receiver department, but he's good enough to get the job done, and he's a great blocker. I just don't know if he's going to play again this year. I wouldn't be surprised if he does. I'm honestly kind of expecting it, but I don't want to place expectations on a guy that just had face surgery, got his eye pretty much gouged out of his eye. Can he be back for the final stretch against the 2 games against the Eagles? I think that would be big. If we make the playoffs, can he be back then? Angel, what up, Ange? Do you want the Giants to sign OBJ to a multi-year deal? If that's what it's going to cost to get Odell Beckham to come back with the Giants, yeah, I would do it. And the reason is Giants have $60 million in cap space the day that the Giants season ends. So all you salary cap nerds out there that are always telling me, but Marshall, we have no money. You can't say that shit anymore, and I can't wait for that because it's the most annoying, so damn annoying. I'd give him a 2-year deal, a big increase in salary in the second year. I'd give him the vet minimum this year because that's really all the Giants can afford. Yes, I would. I think he's that good. I think he's still going to be good. I think there's still a lot of juice left in the OBJ's body. I would sign him to a multi-year deal if that guarantees him coming back and playing for the Giants. Look, that's what I would do if I'm the GM, but I want to hear from all you watching right now because I value the thoughts and opinions of the real ones. Would you give OBJ a multi-year contract? I'd go 2 years. That's all. And if he plays well in year 2, I'd re-sign him again. But I want to hear from you. Type Y for yes. Type N for no. Want to give a big shout out to our proud sportsbook partner, BetUS, for sponsoring today's show. They help us out a lot here, and they can help you a lot as well. If you go to chatsports.com/bet and use the promo code chat125, they are literally going to give you free money. Put $100 into your account, they'll give you a free $125 back, 125% deposit bonus. Put $200 in your account. I think 125% of that is $250. Bad at math. Thing is, they're giving you great deals. It's the best sportsbook offer on the internet. Take advantage of it. Might not last forever. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code chat125. Jay Liv, what up? Are they waiting to see how Hodges and Golladay do before making a move with Johnson? As in Colin Johnson? Marcus Johnson? Okay. No, maybe. You might be right there. If they see Hodgins play good this week, they see Galladay's back, I could see them cutting Johnson. I could. Has some costly drops. I think it's a good point, Jay Liv. I haven't really thought about that, but that's a good point. I think there is a path and a way for Johnson to be cut. Say Golladay comes out this week, gives you 4 for 65, and Hodgins gives you 2 for 30, 3 for 40. One of them catches a touchdown. I could see Marcus Johnson looking at the outside end, maybe brought back down to the Giants practice squad. Really do this, 5-5. What are your thoughts on the way Julian Love has played so far this year? I've been impressed. I thought Julian Love has been great. They've used him as a Swiss Army knife. I know the prior regime called him duct tape because he could do it all. He could fix any problem. He could play free safety. He could play strong safety. He could play nickel corner. He can come back into the box and be your dime linebacker. And if you had to, you could put him on the outside. I mean, what you look at what he's done this year so far, 37 tackles, 1 forced fumble, 1 INT, 2 pass breakups. The dude's been good. The dude has been good. At that big interception against the Baltimore Ravens. There was talks that him and Joe Shane were negotiating during the bye week on an extension. I would do a lot to get him back. I wouldn't overpay. Can you get it? Can you sign him for 3 years, $18 million, 3 years, $19 million? I wouldn't pay him any more than probably $6, $7, $8 million per year, but he's a good player. He's a captain. He's a culture guy. He knows how to win. I like the way Julian Love has played this year. I want you guys, though, to grade Julian Love's performance so far this year with the Giants. Sound off, in the comments. Grade Love's performance, A, B, C, D, or F. Nikki, are you afraid of other teams stealing our coordinators if we continue to play well? It's a good question. I don't think Mike Kafka, the only way they're going to steal our coordinators is if they become head coaches, right? I don't see either of them making a lateral move to go be the coordinator for another team. I don't think Mike Kafka, he needs a couple more years, I think, of being a head coach. And Wink Martindale is a great DC. I'm not sure if he's a head coach. He wants to be a head coach. He said that time and time again. Would I be surprised if someone hired them as their head coach? No, but I don't think that this year would be the year that either become a head coach. I could be wrong. You could pull up the tape if I'm wrong, but no, I'm not worried about it right now. If they play good again next year, if they coach good again next year, if you have 2 good years as a coordinator with a new team, then I think you got a better chance of that. Last question coming in from my guy, Cal Walker. What up, Cal? Marshy, what is your playoff picture looking like? Who you got on both sides? Like all 8 teams? I'll say this. I got the Giants making the playoffs. And right now, they would play the Seattle Seahawks in the playoffs in Seattle. That is a winnable game. You can beat the Seahawks in the playoffs. That Charlie C's upset with you in the comments. Cal, Charlie, that is hilarious. We'll get that up, Charlie, wherever your question is. The playoff picture, I just can't do that off the top of my head. I mean, look, the division winners are going to get in. I think Giants make the playoffs, and I think they beat the Seahawks in the first round. That's my prediction. How about that? Charlie, did you use hashtag Giants? It says, at this point in the season, do you give DJ 3 years, $28 million? Well, one, Charlie, you didn't use hashtag Giants like my guy Cal Walker did. You got to use that for Seeps to get it on the mailbag. Don't yell at Seeps, Charlie. Just yanking your chain. 3 years, 28. I think Daniel Jones would laugh at you if you offered him 3 years, $28 million. You can't pay a quarterback $9 million per year. Yeah, I would love to give him that, but he ain't accepting that. I appreciate everyone that's made today's Giants Now part of their day. Give me a follow on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. I'm tweeting about the Giants all day. 28 per. Okay, $28 million per. Okay, I kind of read that wrong. No, I'm not paying Daniel Jones $28 million per. No. 3 for 60? 3 for 60? 20 years? 20 a pop? I think the salary, the franchise tag's like 28, 29, 30 million. I don't think he's earned $28 million per yet. Go win a playoff game. We could have a different conversation. Give me a follow on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_.